Your plane turbulence is bad. Well, watch as this guy gets sucked into the overhead bin. We're talking about that next.
QRZ is frequency in use, K0 Delta Golf, kilowatt 0 DG testing. Hello test, K0 Delta Golf. K0 DG, the voice of Omaha, Nebraska. Testing on 7.175. K0 DG test. N0 Whiskey, N0 Whiskey. This is K0 DG. I wasn't ready to call you yet, boy. I was testing. Just kidding. Good to hear you in there. I don't see much else on the band at all, Davey. I see your signal peeking up there on the band scope, so I'll give you a report here next go around. But by golly, good to connect again. It's been about 3 weeks.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you're hammered in here. You're like 15 over 9, and you know this meter on this thing's a little stingy. And I put those roofing filters in it, and it's just good enough to get the meter down a little bit. But anyway, now since the band's quiet too, there's no noise unit on my end. I probably got like an S1 and 2 noise level over.
Well, yeah, I imagine maybe all these contests lately, everybody's tired. I don't know, Davey, but you're banging in here, no problem at all. I looked around and I thought, man, this is going to be tough today because I didn't see anybody. I didn't see a soul out here, I tell you. So I'm really happy that we're able to make it here. I was just checking on the map here, and there's a little 20-meter activity over into Europe, not much, some 15. And there's an 8 Echo 1 down there in those South Pacific Islands off of Australia that people are working. But other than that, I don't see anything.
Yeah, Roger. Hey, I take that back. The noise level's in S5, doing S7, but still that's way down from where it normally is. You know, that's not bad at all. But anyway, and everything's working here. The amps are turned on. And I have a question for you. We finally set our itinerary to come to Nebraska for the doctors for the first part off. And wanted to work in visiting you guys. How would be August 4th, Sunday, in the morning by 10:30, 11 o'clock?
Okay, I wrote it down. I think that sounds fine, Davey. I'll let you know if she's got something planned, but I don't think so. August 4th, around 11 o'clock? Okay, yeah, that sounds good. We'll be here, I'm pretty sure. We have a lot of other stuff going on in August, so we're not going anywhere. We're going to be around. We're going to be around. And I'll try to get some of this stuff together for you here, too, that I'm shedding off to you, some of this bullet stuff and things like that. But, yeah, that sounds good, buddy.
Okay, then another question. How would it be if we brought some donuts with us? Would you eat those?
Well, does the bear have hair? You bet your sweet dippy, baby. I certainly would. And you know what else? You're about 10 over S9. My noise level here is maybe S5 or so, S4 to S5. But no problem copying. Yeah, I got the filters going here full blast, so I could probably work on them a little, but I can hear you well enough that I'm not going to bother. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. Another question, too. If you got a favorite place to buy donuts?
Well, that Lamar's, if it's still there, that's pretty good. But otherwise, I have always hit that one down by your shop, but you won't be out anywhere near there. You know, the one on 120th and West Center. But that's I forget. It's the Winchell's, I think. There are two of them together right there, Dixie Cream and Winchell's. But Winchell's are a lot better than Dixie Cream. So we at Lamar's, it's down here, not too far away. That's a good place.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's the first one that came to my mind. I think those are probably the best ones in town. So that's where we'll go. We'll go to Lamar's and get some of those Nutrisystem donuts so they don't put any fat on us over.
Roger, okay. I was going to tell you, we had a great time when the kids were home. We had just a fantastic time. We had got a lot of tree work done. I don't know if I told you or not, we had a big tree split in half and busted over the backyard. I mean, that sucker must have been 100 feet tall. It took me 3 or 4 days to cut that up and another week to haul it out and burn it. I moved the fire pit out north and piled all the scrap wood up that I got off of that tree. Some of it I split, some of it just went in there raw. But it's all done. That fire burnt for a week, believe it or not. One match, it worked for a week. Now we're getting rain. We've had about 5 inches in the last couple of days, so that put the fire out, but that's okay. I had that tree burned up.
Yeah, Roger, that sounds good. Yeah, we've been a little light on rain ourselves. Just haven't been getting much. I think we got a half inch last week. I don't know, we didn't have any of it the week before. So we can get a little bit of the debris that is good.
Yeah, I believe we caught up. Big time. So I tell you, doing a little jockeying here with DNR and the shift, and the width. But yeah, we've been having quite a time around here. We've been going out to eat a lot. I probably gained 10 pounds. So I'll have to get back on my diet, but I figured I'd wait for a day or two before I did that, Davey. Now I think I'll wait till after August 4th when the donuts are here.
Yeah, Roger, that sounds good. Yeah, I got on the scale myself here about 10 days ago, and man, I gained about 20 pounds, so I started cutting back again. But there was always an exception to be made, you know. Hey, and I was curious, what were the intentions of the kids coming back to the junior? Did you have some gigging going on over?
No, they just all came back for their yearly visit, but I had Camden and Lynn stay for an extra week so he could help me out with working on the trees and things. We did a lot of chipping, got the old wood chipper out, so we had a good time. We got to spend some time together, so that was nice. It worked out great. We had a lot of fun and a lot of good eats, baby. N0ZW Whiskey, K0 Delta Golf.
N0ZW from N0ZW. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm glad everybody could make it. You know, I'm kind of concerned about Lenny. You know, you tell me you have some health issues there. All that crap, you know, the COVID stuff. But anyway, well, good. And I had another question for you, too, John. Just getting old, son. You know, you can't keep it in your mind. I need to get the pants in front of me so I can write my questions down, you know. But anyway, now we haven't been doing much here except clearing wood ourselves and cutting it up. Same deal, burning it. You know, and when we burn that big stuff, we can come down the next day and throw some more in there, and it takes off my own. There's so many coals left in the fire pit. Oh, hey, I'm going to get the phone in front of you, but I sent you a picture just a minute ago of a little intruder that was in my backyard. I don't know if you got it yet, over.
Yes, I just looked at the phone and I sure did. Son of a gun. Wow. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You got all sorts of animals down there, Davey. You got all sorts of animals. And yeah, you know the pad? I got a pad in front of me now, and I just write down what I want to talk to you about. And I'm kind of running out of space on it. It's getting pretty used up. It's not actually a pad. It's one sheet of paper. I've got all these notes on it now. The worst part is I look at the notes, and I don't have any idea what they referred to. So, and I'm afraid to throw the thing away. On account I might really need it for something someday, although I can't imagine what. But you're right, this getting old is the carbolics. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. Yeah, Lynn's doing well. She's doing pretty well. We had a really great time with her. And Lisa and Craig were here. We did manage to pick up a little whiskey. They did. Down at a couple of the whiskey stores. And so we had a couple of little sampling parties. You might say. We made s'mores out there on the fire pit. I tell you, Dave, you should have been here. By golly, we could have got some of that homemade sausage out and had ourselves a little sausage fry.
Yeah, Roger. You know, that'd be a pretty cool idea. Put those guys on a weenie roaster stick and roast them over the fire. I bet that'd be pretty good. I don't remember what the other thing was, but I was just curious.
I don't know. I was going to send him a text to tell him to check in if he could make it, but they were out picking berries or something, Marion berries. I got a note from him here a little bit ago. Plus, I wasn't hearing anything on the band, and I thought, man, this isn't going to work. Then there's that other guy up there in Milton, Vermont, W2RON. I thought maybe he might check in with us one of these times, but I haven't heard a peep from him either. I gave him, sicked him on that really neat ham clock that I'm looking at now. That's how I know what's going on the bands. But he couldn't quite figure it out. It's a Unix kind of thing. They call it Linux, I don't know how you pronounce it. So it's a little different. It's kind of like the old DOS used to be. And he had a heck of a time. He's like 87, 88 years old, and his wife's 20 years younger. She was more of a help than he was. But he couldn't figure it out. He got disgruntled and got ticked off, so I think he doesn't like me anymore. Spent all of $60 on that thing, and I think he dismantled it and got rid of it. I don't know. You never can tell. Maybe he belongs out there in that same retiree hospital with good old Joey Biden. N0ZW, K0DG.
K0DG and 0ZW. Yeah, that was a great debate, wasn't it? I don't know if you watched it, but I was kind of had my mouth hanging open most of the time. That was unbelievable. But anyway, it's just kind of interesting to see what the other side does to try and stop Mr. Trump now. I think they're getting pretty worried about him screwing up their little empire of sticking it to us. Over.
Yeah, those idiots. They've been on to him as long as we have. They just never admitted. They just stuck to their lies. I mean, that's unbelievable. We had no idea he was that bullshit. He's been bad since before he was even in office. While he was running down there in the basement, sitting down in the basement, he couldn't talk without a teleprompter of 50 people telling him what to say. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Now they're just really scrambling, but what they want to do is they want to get rid of him. They probably figure now he can't beat Trump. They want to get rid of him and get somebody else in there like that goofy-ass Gavin Newsom. It'll never stop. Oh, and then you got Kamala, or how the hell you pronounce that? She's out there, and she's waving her arms around and screaming word salad BS like you can't believe. I still have never heard that woman say one thing that made any sense. I mean, not one. In the whole time that she's been on the air since running in that goofy election back in 2020. Davey, I don't know what the world's coming to. Those Democrats, they're just, boy, I'll tell you, those people, it's amazing. And the Democrats out in the society have no idea. They believe these guys. They tell them this crap and they just suck it up. I mean, those politicians think that the Democrats that they're preaching to are dumb, and they may well be right. They may well be right, baby. Go ahead.
Hey, Roger, K0DG and 0ZW. Yeah, I know. It's kind of hard to believe. This would have happened 30, 40 years ago. I mean, they wouldn't have got it in if people had said, you guys are nuts. But now they're just soaking it up. It's like everyone's brain short or something, It's like, when I would tell a story about how something happened to my dad. And I got spanked even though I told him a good story, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, they all hate Trump so bad. That's the thing about it. They just hate Trump. Even though he did good things for them, they hate him. But they'd take a chimpanzee in that president's slot just so they didn't have to vote for him. They'll screw themselves. They'll run themselves into the ground, which is what they're doing, and us along with them. That's ridiculous. It's amazing. This thing with those Palestinian lovers. Every Palestinian over there is a Hamas guy. I mean, they voted for him. They've got him there. They're hiding those ones that they kidnapped in their homes. They've got guns in their homes. they're as bad as who they call it, Hamas. The whole thing is full of them. Until they weed them out, wipe them out, there's never going to be any peace in the Mideast. Then you got to go from there to Iran and do the same thing to those suckers. You don't let them off the hook and lift the embargoes on their oil and those kinds of things that Joe and his boys are doing. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like Ronald Christian would say, I don't know what the world's coming to.
Yeah, Roger. Well, the weirdest thing is I heard somebody interviewing one of the Democrats who's in charge of the finances or something, and if there was some way they could take some of that money away from Iran. Well, we already knew how, and they did it. You know, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, ignore all this problems, you know. Yeah, they got Iran and they got Hezbollah to take care of, and it just goes on and on and on. You know, these people have been killing each other for dozens of centuries, and it's never going to stop, you know. It's just best to back out of there and let them be, and I think let the Israelis take care of them. They can clean it up, and we'll have a little peace maybe, you know. But anyway, yeah, no, there's another thing, and I didn't write it down, but we'll get to it in a little bit. But anyhow, it's pretty hot here. It's about 95, and the heat index is about 110. So it's not a good time to be outside taking around. Another good thing about that little critter, that's the groundhog, and I ambushed him at about 50 yards with my pellet rifle. You know, that one that you pump up, and I got the little silencer on it, and I'll tell you, Dick, the only noise I heard was the sound of the pellet hitting the groundhog, you know, and the click of the hammer coming down on the air valve, you know. But it's just, it's amazing. That thing is, they just zipped right through him, I tell you. And it's so fast to shoot because of that sidecocker. He moved about 3 feet and I put 4 rounds through him. That fast, over.
Wow. Good shooting, Davey. Good shooting. But that doesn't surprise me. That we were shooting that in your basement there. That's a wicked rifle. I mean, I didn't get one. I almost did, but I mean, I don't really want to. I've got so many guns now. I decided that I'd just kind of lay off for a while. And yeah, I pulled your trick. I had something that I was going to talk about too, and I didn't write it down. But oh well. I mean, it'll come back to me probably. It'll come back. But let's see, what have we got coming here? We've got in August, we've got July and August. I've got a doctor's appointment here July 22nd, 7:45 in the morning, if you can believe that. I think that's my yearly Medicare exams where they give you the 3 words and you have to remember the 3 words while you draw a plot. So we'll see how we do this year. Last year they gave me the same words they gave me the year before. It was banana and chair, sunrise. So in my mind I pictured myself sitting in a chair on the porch, eating a banana, watching the sunrise. And I don't think I'll ever forget that. Anyway, I probably get the same one again this year. I don't know how they do that stuff. It's crazy. I know if they gave that test to Biden, he wouldn't make it. I'm not in Joe Biden's category yet, even though I'm a little older than he is, I think. But you know how that goes. It's not the age. It's that guy's an imbecile. He was an imbecile to start with, and still an imbecile. I don't know how I got back on Joe Biden again. The guy really bugs me. It's not that I hate the guy. I just vehemently hate the guy. So there. And I would just as soon he got the hell out of there and Kamala took over. Boy, that would scare the hell out of the Democrats too. Can you imagine that? She probably wouldn't bend over like Joe does. She might want to actually try to take charge. And boy, talk about a disaster. That, my friends, would be a disaster. N0ZW whiskey, K0 Delta Golf. As you can tell, I was sampling a little bit of the whiskey that the boys left. Over.
Roger. K0DG and 0ZW. Yeah, it's a real mess, you know. The articles that I read here and there, and it's just how the heck did we get here? It's really sad. But Judy and I'll be watching TV and just shaking our heads, you know. How could this be happening? But anyway, for me, what can you say? Kind of looking at my amp here. See if I got these things. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, we're getting ready to put up some 4th of July decorations on our fence out front for the neighbors. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Anyway, so it's kind of funny. I left that critter there, and he was eaten in the middle of the night. He was gone. So there's something bigger than him out there that drug him off. And I was telling my neighbor Wendell about it. And he got one the week before, but he was using the 1022 and somehow managed to run off. And he didn't get a second shot on the city. He hit it in the rear end. But that particular guy, if you zoom in, he's a boy. He's got pretty good steady, you know what. And Judy and I were coming home the other day, and there was one in the front yard that ran across and went into the woods. And I got a feeling that's the female. So now our assignment is to find her and remove that one. But he says they're all over here. All kinds of critters out there that you don't really want to have running around. The other one I'm working with too now is what they call these moles. So I got the moles, and I got the squirrels got into my feeder upstairs on our bird, you know, they were trying to get up there. So those are open game now. Anyway, I don't know if we'll do that. But anyhow, but yeah, that's the first thing I've done in a while. We've just been out there cutting wood so much and cleaning things up. Boy, is it looking good. You know, you can actually see into the woods, and Judy's gone back and removed lots of big stones and rocks so I can get back there and mow now. So hold on, it'll be kind of like a little park back there, over.
Roger, I can imagine it. I can see it there. You're making progress, my friend. You're making progress. You're 20 over S9 now. 20 over, believe it or not, Davey. Wonder how much power you're running. I'm at about, let me see, let me get my specs on here. We're running right at 1100 watts. 1100 watts right now. And SWR on that homemade antenna is 1.0 or 1.1, so that thing is still working great. Got that same piece of coax I put out there 10 years ago, whenever it was. And we're looking good. We're looking really good. It's negligible SWR, and our average is about 1150 to 1150 watts. So we're banging them out there. We're getting the signal out. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. N0ZW. Well, that's pretty close to what we're doing. We're doing anywhere from like 1,060 to 1,080 on our peak, something like that. Not quite getting to 1,100 watts today. I'm not sure what causes that, because it seems to be variable. It's kind of funny with the NWR. But anyway, at least it's working, and we're creating some watts. A lot over that 200 watts that we have in the radio. And of course, we're not running the radio so hard now either, which certainly does help. But anyway, yeah, boy, good cough, there we go. Anyway, it's been fun, let me tell you. We keep ourselves pretty busy. And we did the same with Bits on the church. We had a vacation Bible school, so we volunteered with that. Spent our 4 days with the little kids. We had one that was first graders. And learned the teachers, so we were kind of her assistants, which was nice. So we didn't have all the responsibilities, just kind of to be your helper. But it was a pretty good deal. A lot of kids, I think they had 250 of them or something like that took place, or not took place, just joined up for it. But anyway, so yeah, that was last week. So this week's a lot slower. Just getting ready for the 4th of July and then working out in the yard. Probably going to mow tomorrow night when it cools off a little bit. It's supposed to be hot tomorrow. It's our high is 95. You know, that gets you up there with our humidity, and the heat index is somewhere north of 105 to 110, somewhere in there. But if you're not working, if you're sitting in the shade and sipping a cold one, it's not so bad, over.
Yeah, Roger, Davey. I've been making notes here, so I know what to say this time. But Yeah, the weather here, it's like 78 degrees. The last 2 days have been great, except we've had the rain with it. But we were like 101 here a few days ago when the kids were home. That was miserable. Camden and I worked out there chipping wood for maybe an hour and a half, and we called it quits. Then we drove up to north, up around the Zion Lutheran Cemetery, up by the John Nyhart Center in Bancroft. We stopped to see old John's place, and we went out to see his great-great-great-grandpa Hugo's grave. So we had quite a time. We had quite a time doing that. And I had a question for you here, talking about cutting up wood up there. What are you using for saws, Davey? I just wonder, using what kind of chainsaw you're using, if any, or what are you doing to cut that stuff up? Go ahead.
Well, I was using that McCullough that I resurrected. It's probably 25, 30 years old. I couldn't get it started the other day. You have to pull on it so long, you kind of go on to something else. So I grabbed the corded one. It's 16-inch electric, and I just run a bunch of extension cords out there, and which worked pretty good. I got about 250 feet of cord. So, but anyway, we're looking at getting one of those battery-powered ones here down the road, and then we don't have to mess with the gas or the electric cord. You know, I can also fix my old generator. Then there's another thing you got to pull the cord on to get it started. But that's still working with you, Gomer.
Yeah, okay. I wondered. I've worn out 2 corded saws already. One of them is a Cobalt, and the other one was a Remington. So I would say don't go there. But I went down to Harbor Freight, and I picked up this 16-inch corded saw for $90 with, I don't know, 10% off coupon or something. You never pay full price at Harbor Freight. And boy, I tell you, that thing so far has been working really good for me. I'm just going to pitch the other 2 saws. One of them I got is the Milwaukee with the battery. That's a fine saw, but it burns through those lithium batteries like you can't believe. And those are expensive. I don't know what it does to them, but they won't charge. You run them a few times, and then suddenly they won't charge. They turn the charger lights yellow and red and pink and everything else. I mean, I'm disappointed as heck in that. Really disappointed in it. I'm disappointed in that Milwaukee stuff all the way around. Because, you know, I got some wrenches and things that are Milwaukee. I hate to get all these different brands because you got so many different batteries and different battery chargers. It's crazy. But that's why I go with the corded, because I've got the generator. I don't have to worry about batteries. Although the cords are a pain in the tail when you're out there working, you seem to always step on them. I don't know, I think I'm on my third cord. They're about $20 a piece, no big deal, but I chopped in half because it was in the wrong place. But it's a pain. That's why I was wondering what you were doing. I just wondered how you were coming along on the saw there, Davey. Weather here's been pretty decent. I can't complain the last couple of days. At least with the rain, I haven't had to go out there and do anything. But right now it's 78 degrees, and pretty high humidity. But I'll tell you, down here in the basement shack, it's 71 degrees. 71 degrees, average mean temperature the whole year round. I just love it, baby. N0ZW whiskey, K0 Delta Golf.
N0ZW and N0ZW. Yeah, just look at my little thermometer. It's 72.7 down here. So it's pretty comfortable. And I got a little humidifier running here, so a dehumidifier, so we're keeping the humidity down in the house, which isn't too bad at all. But anyway, give me a little more mic in there. I think I was running a little low. But anyhow, the corded one, Dick, I've had that thing, I've had just for 15 years. It has the original chainsaw blade in it, and it still cuts very good. The McCullough, I bet you I've gone through 4 chains. And I don't know if it's just because it goes faster or what's going on, but I double those suckers up like nothing. But this electric one doesn't seem to do that. So I don't know, unless it's one of those, some of these saws are self-sharpening, so maybe that's what's going on. But I'm having a couple little issues with it. You know, when you're in it. It's got two holes that sit on a couple of pins. So you can pull it in and make it tighter. One of those pins snapped off, so it's just held on one side. So I kind of got to watch it, you know, that I don't push too much pressure on it. And if I do, then the chain goes with it, and I'm back up there, into the part again. But I think when I bought that baby, I got $79 in it, so not too bad. It's made some money for me, you know. It's got my money's worth. And anyway, it does a real good job of cutting stuff up, so. I don't like is when it got those doggone logs on the ground and trying to cut them. The darn thing is in the wrong position, of course, all the time. So it pinches your saw blade, and then you try to figure out how to roll the sucker over so you can finish the cut, you know. And when they're 10 inches in diameter and they're 40 feet long, that is not really easy to do, over.
Yeah, Roger, Davey. I know what you mean. And you're 30 over now. 30 over. Either you're pumping up the power or the band is getting a little better for us. I still didn't. I'll have to look next time. I didn't see much activity around us here, but I've got the squelch on here. I very rarely ever use the squelch when I'm DXing the stuff, but I've got it turned up full bore, and you're coming in just clear as a bell now. I love this little rig, I tell you. And the saw, I don't know. I never liked the gasoline ones because they're so hard to take care of. So much maintenance. If you let them sit a year or two, then the carburetors gum up. And I don't know. I had one. I gave it away to Tom because it was a monster to start. Maybe today they've improved it with electronic ignition and such, but I don't know. I'm not real anxious to get one. I did look at an 18-incher. A battery-powered 18-incher Husqvarna that they had down at Lowe's, and I might go check that sucker out. But it's like $300 or something like that, and it comes with the battery because you have to buy a couple of other batteries. And of course, it's a 56-volt battery, of which I don't have any. So that's another line of chargers out there in the garage. I've got one whole workbench taken up with chargers already dated. That's why I was asking about the saw. I was hoping maybe for some magic thing that you had going there. Maybe we could talk about it again when you bring the donuts over, Davey. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, I think that Husqvarna that you're talking about, that's kind of what I've been looking at, to be honest with you. It was a pretty good price compared to the Milwaukee's that I've reviewed. You can get it in either an 80 volt or a 56 volt. I don't know if it makes much difference. It's a little different in price. But I think I saw it on Amazon. And I want to see that 56 volt. Oh man, it's a $299 or $259. And I think the 80 was $329 or something like that. But what I couldn't find out is how much is an extra battery, so I got to research that. I noticed one of the brands I looked at, the new battery was $200. That's pretty crazy, over.
Yeah, that's what it was like with this Milwaukee, and then the batteries crapped out on me. I've got like 5 of them, one 9 amp hour and a couple of 5 amp hours, and I mean they were toast with just a couple of uses. That's crazy. I would not buy any more Milwaukee stuff the rest of my life. That's just really torques me off. I probably have $400 in those batteries, Dave, over.
Yeah, Roger, is there any chance you get some warranty on it?
I don't know. I haven't checked that. I guess I could, but I'm just disgusted with it. I'm ready to pitch the whole damn saw.
Yeah, that's not good. They're so proud of you and the price they get. And I got a feeling that I don't care what brand you get, it's probably all made in places in China, over.
Yeah, Roger. And that's a couple of the batteries I got were second source, Vannon or somebody like that, but the majority of them are Milwaukee brand, and they seem to go faster than the imitation ones or the second source ones. So I'm just unhappy with Milwaukee. I've got their impact wrenches, a couple of them, a 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch, and a saw, a regular old, just a hand saw for doing carpentry work with. but they don't seem to be so bad on it. But maybe it's that chainsaw sucks so much current. And you know those batteries have I've checked them out. They've got a circuit in them for heating. Lithium is a bad thing if it gets too hot and catches on fire. So they've got a circuit in there that watches the temperature and then it starts kicking things off. And I think that circuit's going haywire is what I think. I took one of those batteries apart. I charged it down here with my own power supply and got her right back up where she belongs. But I put it in the charger and the red light starts blinking and it tells me that it can't be charged if the battery's closed. So I can run it once. And taking it apart takes about 15 minutes, putting it back together. So that's a long time to charge it instead of just popping it in the charger. I tell you, Dave, I tell you. That's like Barrett, my cousin Barrett over in Germany always says, not all things are easy.
Yeah, Roger, N0ZW. You know, I think I recall too that was an 18-volt battery instead of a 56 or an 80. That might be part of it, you know, maybe it's just too much for it. But I wonder if it's just your charger. You know, maybe the charger's set and you need a charger on it.
I got 3 chargers, Davey. Does it on all of them.
Yeah, nice try. Well, yeah, what can you say? Well, it's just, I don't know, but I'm still kind of hesitant on one of those things. It just would make life easier if you could find one that works really well. And the Milwaukee wasn't what I was going to get, but it wasn't because of reviews or anything. It's so darn expensive. So I was looking for something a little cheaper. And I don't really know if I need an 18-incher either. I could probably get a 16, and that drops the price a little more too. So, but that's down the road here a few more weeks, and we'll see what we do. But in the meantime, the other one's working great, and I've been dragging the logs down to a central point by the fire pit, and that's why I'm doing my cutting. So, you know, all the courses just laid in one spot. I did stretch them out into the woods to cut the trees down with it, and that one's okay too. I can get in there, you know, quite a ways, come on his feet. So I've got woods on the west side now, pretty well cut down. I got a couple biggies out there that are kind of scaring me to cut. I got a real big one in the front yard that I'm afraid to cut back with here because it could fall off the house.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Dave, you probably, for the few extra bucks, you'd be happier with an 18. Because I've got some big chunks here that I've had to go, you know, you cut on one side and then go to the other side and cut and bring it around. It's not unusual to have to do that. So that's why I'm looking at this barn. And it's a 56 volt and 18 inches. And I have to research the batteries too, just like you're doing. But the other thing that I really like about this Bauer is that it's 90 bucks. You know, I could buy 4 or 5 of those, except the disadvantage is the cord. But then again, I got that generator, so I guess I can live with the cord for that much money. Anyway, that's the situation here, but I think you'd be happier with an 18-incher. N0ZW, K0, Delta Golf.
What I've got is a 16, and I've had a couple times where I kind of wish it was a little bit longer with some of those cultures are pretty big, you know. But like you say, just cut around the other side. I did have kind of some excitement with one. I had it all figured out, you know, notched it out, it was good, go the right way, you know, and I've been plans, right? And when I was throwing on the backtrack, getting ready to go, all of a sudden the tree goes the other way and pitches my saw. I said, oh no, you know, and I just push on it and get my saw up, and then it would just come right back down. I just couldn't get enough strength to go all the way. I was kind of afraid to cut it anymore. And anyhow, then if it falls away, it was looking like it was gonna take out my incoming AC. So that wasn't too cool. Then it kind of dawned on me I had a come along. So I went out and strapped that on the tree about 10 feet up. I got my ladder on and hooked it to another tree and pulled it over. But that was kind of a close one, you know. I thought, oh boy, that would be a real problem here if the wind goes up and it's going the wrong direction. And it was really cool that the other night we were watching He's a crazy guy that thinks, quick me with killed. Nothing about Homestead Rescue. And that's what he did. He was cut some very big tree down that went the wrong way. He was like Mr. Expert. They started killed him, it was something crazy. But anyway, so lesson learned. I'm a little nervous about the ones up front. I got a couple on the side of the one field that they're tall, they're 60, 70 feet. If I would mess up, it's going to take out my building. So I kind of watch that too. The shed over there. We just be hiring us. But anyhow, we'll see how that goes. I got to get out there and study it and see if it looks like it's something I can do. But anyhow, I was just looking on the internet here to see if I could find that Husqvarna thing. What they got going for it. But of course, when you want to find it, you can't find it. They got so many different electric chainsaws, it's just unbelievable. They got one here, it's like $99, two batteries. They don't, 12 gig should have worked very good. And Greenwich was another one I was looking at, and gosh, there's so many. Black and Decker, you can handle it, there's just a million kinds of it.
Yeah. We've got that tree out here in the driveway, and it's kind of, the branches are coming down, getting close to the roof. We got a message last year from Allstate, who insures our house. They used a satellite image, and they could see the tree out there. They called our agent and said, if he doesn't take care of that tree, we're going to cancel his insurance. So they had me take some pictures to show that the tree wasn't touching the roof yet, which I thought was kind of crummy of them. But I guess I've read in Wall Street Journal that more of the insurance companies are doing that. They're getting nailed with so many claims. Well, this year it's down there a little bit closer. So we had a tree guy come over, and just a minute.
That's okay. Why don't you just let me know when you're done?
Okay. I was checking with Teeny Weeny there. We had a tree guy come over and give us a bid on just chopping those few limbs out of there and kind of cleaning that tree up a little bit. And we got the bid back. It was $1,150. $1,150. So yesterday morning, Teeny and I got the pole saw out. We went out there in 45 minutes. We did it ourselves. There's one more branch we got to get, and that's up too high, and I'll get Aaron, I think, to come over and maybe get up on the roof and do that. I could do it myself if I wasn't afraid of falling off that roof. I would have done it 20 years ago. But now I don't trust myself up there. And it's not, the pitch on that garage roof isn't that bad. It's over by the garage. So that kind of torqued me off. But we got this one tree I was telling you about, the split. The split, that came down exactly, I couldn't have felled it any better if I would myself. It fell right down out there where there was nothing else. Laid there just flat as a pancake, and boy, chopping her up was easy. I de-limbed it, took it all apart. It took a while, but it was no big shakes, and it gave me plenty of exercise doing it. Well, now that tree that's probably up there 120, 130 feet. And if that comes down, it's going to either nail the neighbor's house or it's going to nail my house. So I'd like to get it taken down, but I'm not going to get a quote from that guy. And actually, all I need to have him do, like you were saying, all I need to have him do is bring that baby down exactly where I want it, so that it doesn't wreck a couple of really nice pine trees out there, or, worse than that, fall into one of our houses. And if I can just get him to bring her down right where I want it, I'll take care of the rest of it myself. But I don't know what they charge for that. I sure as hell ain't going to pay any $1,150 for it, baby. Well, Marlene was down here. I guess she's got something going on, so I think I'm going to have to call it a night here and get busy seeing what's going on with her. And I'll tell her we'll get it on the calendar for August 4th, 10 or 11 or whatever, in that morning. And we'll be expecting some donuts. N0ZW Whiskey, K0 Delta Golf.
Okie dokie, hey, sounds good. Hey, I did look up that Husqvarna, but I'm not coming up with the one I was looking at. They got a 40 volt too, but an 18-incher with the battery and charger with $399 on Amazon. So anyway, but yeah, that key stuff, that's kind of sneaky, but those insurance companies, they're getting pretty sneaky. Yeah. They're using the satellite imagery to check your place out, you know, it kind of sucks. It's like, they're spying on you. Anyway, will you have a good evening, say hello to your missus for me, and guys have a good dinner there, and we'll catch you next week. N0ZW, N0ZW. Just fine, over.
Roger, Davey. You were hitting 30 over there for a little bit. Unreal. Unbelievable. Okay, we'll look forward to next week. In the meantime, 73, tell Judy hello, and we'll watch for you here later on down the log, like those guys always say. N0ZW Whiskey, K0, Delta Golf. 73, sign on, and ciao, buddy.
Okay, hey, I have one last thing I forgot to ask you. Did you ever get new neighbors next door over?
Oh, yeah, we got a couple of them. We got one with one little boy. They must be Irish. The lady's name is Kelly, and the kid's name is Irish. He's a investment counselor, I think. We kind of think he paid cash for the joint, moved in, and kind of starting to realize he got screwed big time. But anyway, we met him. Gone over, said hello to them and everything, and they've been busy. They've been moving stuff in, furniture, and getting other stuff fixed and stuff done in the yard. So they're keeping busy. But I'm glad somebody's over there now. I'm glad somebody's living there. It's not cool when you don't have neighbors in the house next door. You never know what's running around in there. You could get some of those people coming across the border and just moving in, you know. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. Sounds good. Yeah, I tell you, that's another one. Boy, those people getting all that money and the credit cards, and they refill them every month. And we're paying for it. You know, it's going out of the Social Security fund. I don't know if you do that, but it just stinks. Anyway, 7-3, we'll catch you later, Nick. This is N0ZW. Bye-bye.
Ciao, Davey. 73. ADH to Judy.